ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानम् अखिलाधारम् आश्रये भीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त सारं वक्ष्ये यथामतिः. Okay. Any questions, clarifications before we go ahead? Or is it all clear? Last time we saw what is Ajnanam technically. Okay. Okay, all clear? Okay, good. That means people have understood all that I said. Good sign. Okay, good sign. Yeah. Okay.
Swamiji, I wanted to ask a question.
Shoot. What is your doubt?
When we talk about an individual mind, there is ajnanam, there is ignorance. But when we talk about the totality, it's all knowledge, jnanam.
Yeah.
There is no ignorance.
Correct.
So then, when we talk about Maya and at the individual level, ignorance, etc., then it's not. That is also not just an appearance, because if it's all knowledge, then there can't be really ignorance, no? Because if we are saying that the totality is all knowledge, then how ignorance? Because that is also just an appearance, or
Yes.
What is it?
That's also only an appearance.
What?
The totality is also an appearance, the individual is also an appearance. What is reality is only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Everything else is appearance.
So when we talk about Jnanam, 6 bhagas of Bhagavan, so then that Jnanam we talk about.
There are two.
One of the,
In Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, the Jnanam is used Lakshanaya for pure consciousness. When you say Jnanam and Ajnana Virodhi, etc., when you say, you are talking at the functional level, the manifested level. So that is manifestation. That is why Vrittik Jnanam, the Jnanam that takes place in your mind, that alone can negate the ignorance in your mind. Cosmic mind is full of knowledge. But remember Trigunatmikam. The word Trigunatmikam was there in the definition of Ajnana. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So that Tamas, when it manifests in the individual mind, it will manifest as ignorance. The Tamas in the total mind is manifesting as gross things, inert objects. So we will see all that. The individual and total aspect is the next step. Okay. Any other questions based on what we did in the last class or the previous classes? Okay. Someone else is joining in. Okay. All right. Okay. Then let us join in. Let's start the next section, 34th verse we saw last time. Okay. This we will see now in terms of the next topic, 35th verse onwards. It's subdivided into the Samashti and Veshti aspects of Ajnanam. Samashti, the totality, Veshti, individual level. So from these two standpoints, we are seeing the whole thing now. Okay. Idam Ajnanam Samashti Vyashti Abhiprayena Ekam Anekam iti Vyavahriyate. First statement, okay. From the standpoint of individual and total, we will talk about Ajnanam as one and many. Total aspect, it is one. Individual aspect, it is many. What I am ignorant of, you all may not be ignorant of. What you all are ignorant of, I may not be ignorant of. We are all ignorant of various different things because we are knowledgeable about various different things. Therefore, individual total aspect comes into the picture. Therefore, at the individual aspect, there is a plurality. At the total aspect, there is only one. One Maya Shakti, millions of Ajnanam. Okay. For which he gives an example. This example will be these two examples will be kept consistently through all the Vyashti Samashti arguments. Okay. Tata hi yatha vrikshanam samashti abhiprayena vanam iti ekatya vyapadeshaha. For which he gives an example. Yatha vrikshanam, for the trees. Okay. Samashti abhiprayena, from the aspect of the totality, vanam iti ekatva vyapadeshaha, you will call it a vanam, a forest. Okay. One forest, 1,000 trees. In fact, 1,000 trees is not a forest. You need much more than that. Yeah. I got 3,000 trees planted in our ashram at Coimbatore. That didn't make it a forest. It just makes it nice and green. Okay. Yeah. But 100 acres, 1,000 acres of forest land, okay, that's called forest. Collective. Okay. Yathava, otherwise, jalanam samashti abhiprayena jalashayaha iti. Or he says, for water, jalashaya iti is not one bucket of water. It's not 1 liter of water. 1,000,000 liters of water, okay, 10 lakh liters of water will be called a reservoir or a lake or such. Jalashaya. Jalashaya can be translated either, okay, reservoir, lake, etc. Okay. Okay. Tatha, in the same way, nanatvena pratibhasamananam जीवगत अज्ञानानाम समष्टि अभिप्रायेन तद एकत्व व्यपदेशः अजाम एकाम इत्यादि श्रुतेः. Similarly, when you are talking about the ajnanam that is there in all the individuals, every individual has some level of ajnanam. Certain things they are ignorant of. Therefore, with or self-ignorance, let us take self-ignorance itself, because that's the main context of the discussion. With respect to that, okay, millions of minds having millions of ignorance, he says, jiva gatanam, as samashti, collectively, from the totality standpoint. Okay, one thing I also have to mention, totality is different from mere collectiveness, okay? Unless you are talking about collective as a whole universe. Because when you say collective, we generally mean only human beings. Non-human minds also. Okay? Non-human minds also, there is ignorance. A dog has its own level of ignorance. An ant has its own level of ignorance. So collective, when you use the word collective, expand, okay? If there is life on other planets, okay, which are different from human, then those also will come into the picture. Other dimensions, ignorance of jivas in heaven, Heaven you are going, now as a jiva you go to heaven. So what about the ignorance of those people? They may have a better vision of the world compared to us on earth here, but it is still, they are ignorant of a lot of things. Everyone who is in heaven is ignorant of Atma Jnanam. I am sure most of them will have one regret in heaven. Should have studied a bit more Brahma Jnanam next lifetime. Most of them will have, okay. Because when you see the big picture, you understand better. Yeah. But then they should remember that wanting when they are born, that is the problem. Yeah. Therefore, that self-ignorance is there. Therefore, all this collectively is known as one, which the Shruti says as Ajam, Ekamiti, unborn, one, etc. Avyaktam, all these terms are used. Maya, all these terms are used for the totality. And one has to accept this individual collective aspects of it. Very, very important for understanding. If you cut down one given tree, I am not saying 100 people cutting down one tree. I am just talking about one tree. Is the forest cut down? From the lake, you pump out 1,000 liters of water. Is the lake dried up? Once, 1,000 liters. No. One person gains Atma Jnanam in his mind now, or her mind, no more ignorance. Is total Maya negated? No. Each one of us have to gain that knowledge. Each one of us have to gain that knowledge. Total Maya is not negated. Why? The world is continuing, no? Based on Maya Shakti only. The wise person is teaching or not teaching. If the wise person is teaching, then Maya Shakti. Why? The all-pervading consciousness appearing as a teacher now. Finite. One champion sitting down there. With that guy's personality limitations. Quirks of personality. All that is there or not there? You will never find two teachers the same. In their teaching they will be the same. Okay. Yeah. But otherwise everything else will be different. Personalities and all are very different. Yeah. Why? Because each mind has to gain that knowledge. So the individual aspect becomes very, very important. Otherwise the Guru gained knowledge, all of us will automatically gain. That will be so easy. And some gurus put you on a trip like that also. Go and ask them, Swamiji, have you gained moksha? I am at the entrance, dwar par khada hu. I am waiting for all my devotees and students to come up to that level. Then all of us will enter moksha together. And the devotees are, what a guru we have. I wonder who is the idiot, the guru or the sishyas? Definitely the guru, either way. If he really means it, he is an idiot. If he doesn't mean it and he is trying to manipulate his students, definitely idiot. Well, not true. Yeah, it all sounds nice, but the fact is, each one has to gain that knowledge. Yeah. So it's good to say, I am so and so student. That identity. Achha. Why? It shows that you have a great teacher. But my question is, what are you? What am I? Am I worthy of that? My grand guru, Pujya Swamiji's guru, would put it very nicely. Swamiji, who all studied with you? You would list a few names. हाँ ये तो आके पढ़ा था. अच्छा. What about that person? हाँ सुन के गया. He listened to something then went away. He listened to something and went away. Why this question came up was because, see, all my Guru Bhais know, because Pujya Swamiji has said it, that who has studied from Taranji among his students? Only 3 or 4 of us are there. But there was one guy who had taken a camp to Rishikesh, and that time Swami Taranji happened to come from Haridwar to Rishikesh and stay in Rishikesh for 10 days. And this man would go and discuss a few things with Taranji for 10 days. Now, even 10 days with Swami Taranji was a big thing, okay? Forget people like us who studied for years. Even 10 days is good. But he went around saying that only he has studied from Taranji, nobody else. That's why people went and asked Swami Taranji, because they got this doubt, kaun hai? So he said, these 3-4 people studied with me for some time. For years they were there. Acha pada hai. What about others? Sun ke gaya. Sun ke gaya. Because a lot of people have come to him for short term, 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. He doesn't consider that studying. Few years, okay. Because you are delving into a subject matter which is huge. That is why that samashti and vyashti is important. Guru is great, he gained his knowledge. That means I have a great teacher, good. I am on the right track. What about me knowing things? More than what a teacher, I always say this, more than what I teach, what you understand is more important. For you. Because if you don't understand, then what's the point of my teaching? That is why the individual aspect of avidya is important to keep in mind. Because my avidya, I have to negate. With the grace of the teacher. Yes, grace is what? Teaching. So that I have to keep my mind okay. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam specially. That desire for moksha should be strong. Yeah. Like for all the Gujaratis here, how the desire for getting the, what do you call that Garba for Navaratri is so strong. घर में लेके आने का है ना देवी को. It is strong. Which is a good sign. Bhakti is good. I am not running it down. I am appreciating it. 9 days of bhakti, good. अच्छा है. The same way the desire for moksha should be there. Only thing is, 9 days is a short run. Moksha is a marathon. Okay, you are running a marathon. Not over in 9 days. So that type of mumukshutvam, everything will work out. Why should it not work out? You are there, the knower, the seeker. Atma, what you have to know is there. The pramana is there. Why should knowledge not take place? Why should knowledge not take place? Okay, therefore with that, he says, therefore, ajam ekamiti sing. Now, he is going into a description of how the individual and the total varies, the differences. Iyam samashtihi utkrishta upaditayaha vishuddha sattva pradhanaha. Samashti, says, becomes utkrishta upadi. Utkrishta upadi meaning a higher upadi. And therefore, sattva guna pradhana becomes predominantly Satvik. Why? All knowledge is there. Because remember, we are talking of total Maya Shakti. Total Maya Shakti, Sattva will manifest as all knowledge. Rajas will manifest as the ability to create this, that, etc. The whole creation, whole universe, it can manifest. Tamas will manifest as matter, the creation of matter. Because where did matter come from otherwise? Okay, that is tamas. So in the total mind, that's how it manifests. Okay, you can't accuse the Lord of being lazy. Ishvara is lazy because tamas is there in him. Yes, tamas is there and he goes to sleep at night. And when he goes to sleep at night, the whole creation is resolved. Okay, there's no more creation, it's pralaya. Okay, so that is how it is at the total level. And all right, therefore, Vishuddha Sattva, what happens out of that? Etad upahitam chaitanyam sarvajnatva sarveshwaratva sarva niyantratvadi gunakam avyaktam antaryami jagat karanam ishvaraha iti cha vipadeshate sakala ajnana avabhasakatvat sa yas sarvajnaha sarvavit ityadi shrutehe. All right. Etad upahitam chaitanyam. Now the chaitanya, the consciousness that is manifest in samashti ajnanam. So let us call samashti ajnanam as maya. Simplification. The term can simplify. Therefore samashti ajnanam maya. That chaitanyam gains what? Because of the upadhi, the chaitanyam appears as sarvajnatvam, all-knowing, sarveshwaratvam, the Lord of everything, Ishvaraha. Okay. Sarva niyantratvadi, it is that which can control everything. Ishvara. What is it? Omniscient, omnipotent, all-pervading. The same Chaitanya. All-pervading it isn't mentioned because Chaitanya is all-pervading anyway, with or without Maya. It is limitlessness. Okay, therefore, Nitradi. Okay, Itradi Gunakam. Avyaktam, it's also called as Avyaktam. Antaryami, the one that is seated in Maya inside but controlling everything. Controlling meaning manifesting everything. Okay. Jagat Karanam. Jagat Karanam Brahma. Brahman as the cause of the whole world, whole universe. Ishvaraha iti vyapadeshate. And otherwise called as Ishvaraha. Sakala Ajnana Avabhasakatva. And because he is aware or illumining the whole Ajnanam, Sarvajnaha Sarvavit iti Shrutehi, is called Sarvajnaha Sarvavit. Now the meaning of both is same if you are using them separately. But when you use them together, Sarvajnaha meaning you will understand everything in general. What is that? Aham Satyam Yat Sarvam Mithyeti. I am the Satya. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman Aham Asmi. Everything else Mithya. This is Sarvajnaha. When it is used along with Sarvavit, otherwise Sarvavit will not have meaning. Sarvavit meaning to know the details of the Mithya. To know the details of the Mithya. Only Ishvara will know that. Human minds will not know that even when they know the truth. Sarvajna they can be called. Why? I know everything. What is everything? I am Satyam and everything else Mithya. So that general Sarvajna, a wise person can be called But details, only Ishvara's mind will know. Why? Sarva Ajnana Avabhasakatvad. Since he is illumining all of ignorance, he has all the details with him. The human mind cannot have those details. It will blow your mind. You will not be able to hold it. It is like trying to pass 5000 volts of electricity through your home boards or your home meters. What will happen? You will burn up the whole thing. Just burn up the whole thing. Similarly, that all knowledge in this pokey human mind cannot have. Knowledge of everything as Satyam Mithya you can have, but the details you will never be able to have. Yes, Sunita?
So the question, you said illumining all ignorance.
Yeah.
I can understand the context in which you
Because since it illumines ignorance, all details are ignorance only, na? See, in the broad sense in the world, this cell phone, still not on. My SIM card is still not activated, okay. So, I know that. Knowledge. Okay. So, there is some knowledge here and there is some ignorance also. Why is it not activated? What are the details of activation, etc. Na janami, I don't know. But what is the fundamental premise here? This cell phone is separate from me. This is real. My body is real. I have to learn all the details of how the body functions. That general ajnanam is there in all disciplines. What? Subject-object reality. The reality of subject and object and the finitude of subject and object. That is what Vedanta is dismissing. Functionally, of course, the phone is different from me. Why? If the phone was non-different from me, the SIM card would have got activated because I am active now, okay? Okay. It would have activated now. I have got activated. I have woken up. I had my coffee also. So this also will get activated, but that is not true. So functionally, there are differences. But functional differences do not establish an absolute difference. Whereas every discipline of knowledge is based on these differences. In fact, the more scientifically precise you are, the more subject-object you will try to separate out, so that your subjectivity is not involved in the interpretation of the data. And that is important. For functioning, that is important. I find that most people are highly subjective when it comes to the functioning world. All of us have some degree of subjectivity, but some people are hugely subjective. Huge. And they are generally people who have not studied science. If you have studied science, you will get some amount of objectivity. You learn to keep that a little bit difference. But even in science, there is a fundamental premise. In science, that got shaken when we studied quantum physics. Got shaken, but they have not yet dropped it. They can't drop it. It will stop being science. Vedanta dismisses the subject-object divide as only functional, only experiential, not absolute. Hear my words carefully. Subject-object divide is dismissed as only experiential, only functional, not absolute. It's part of the Mithya world. That means what? Any discipline of knowledge which is based on subject-object difference has that dhvani, has that lesha of ajnanam in it. That much is there. That is why in none of these disciplines of knowledge there can be a finality. In the beginning of the 19th century, last century, before World War I, I am so used to referring that to as the present century. Now it takes some time, last century. The scientists had thought that everything in science is already discovered. All they had to do is only refining measurements and saying where to put the decimal place. A huge amount of development took that from there to now, no? In the last 100 years. Something that we take for granted in our lives, the cell phone. What a huge amount of technology and science has gone into this. Huge. Yeah. So much of computing, so much of programming, so much of coding. Voice activation, this, that, artificial intelligence is the next step for this. So already a little bit has come in. Because the phone also gives you a girlfriend, no? Siri. Miss Siri is there, na? Or whatever. Voice activation, please turn this thing on, turn that thing, all that. Yeah, little bit of artificial intelligence coming into it. Just started, but yeah. So huge amount. And when did it come into India? 20 years, 25 years, 25 years back. That's it. So if you look at it that way, it's huge. But there will never be a finality. You'll never be able to say this is it. We have found that this is what consciousness is, you'll never be able to say. You cannot even say this is the final particle, you will not be able to say. You say we can't go beyond that, there is, but you can't go at the most, that's all you'll be able to say. With the present technology, we can't go. And they'll hope some future technology will make it possible. Which is true. Technology catching up to prove what Einstein had proposed took 50 years. But all of them are tainted by this level of ignorance, subject-object divide. And the finitude of subject and object. That cannot be solved by any discipline of knowledge other than Vedanta. So don't go about crowing, hey, Vedanta is the highest knowledge. Yeah, we know. But it can't satisfy your hunger, okay? Your maid's knowledge of cooking should come into the picture. So, two levels of functioning all the time. All the time these two levels of functioning goes on.
Swamiji, I had a question.
Shoot.
Yeah. Swamiji, this Vyashti, Samashti, na? So
Yeah.
Vyashti is individual level.
Yeah.
Samashti when we talk about total Maya Shakti. So total Maya Shakti, I am stuck there whether it's all knowledge. This is individual ignorance that becomes total knowledge. So that total knowledge, but it's again at the level of Upadhi only, no?
Correct.
So it is Gunatmika. So then it is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all three comes. Then how it
Correct.
becomes total knowledge? That's part one. And part two is the same thing as the Jnaya Dhatu of the Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Are we talking about the same thing when we talk about the total knowledge of the Maya Shakti?
Nope.
No.
I'll come to that. Okay, two questions in one. Let me handle the first question. How come that ignorance at the individual level becomes all knowledge at the total level? That's the basic first question, isn't it? It is simple. My old example. All of us have one vote. We have the power. We are living in a democracy. We have the power. So we have one vote. Someone who corners all the vote, forget all, he only has to get a majority of votes, becomes what? He has got all the votes with him now, for all practical purposes. My vote makes me the ruled. I am the ruled. The totality makes him the ruler. Does it make him more ruled or does it make him ruler?
Ruler.
I can't recall him. At the most, out of my powerlessness, I can say, not my president. Sorry, boss. He is your president. You can scream from the top of the world that he is not your president, but he has cornered the majority, he is your president, like it or not. For the next 4 or 5 years, whatever, depending on which country you are in, he is your president. You can say, he is not my president, I didn't vote for him. No, doesn't matter. Many people said that about Trump, but he was their president, all right. Some people are saying that about Modi, but he is your premier, all right. You may not like it. I don't like Mamata Banerjee being in Bengal. But if I am in Bengal, I can't say she is not my CM. Of course she is my CM. Why? Because he is good. Yeah. I don't like it. You may not like it, but that is fact. So, one vote makes me ruled. Totality makes ruler. Why is the difference coming in? This is called qualitative differences that happen when structure changes. Simple. Let us say all of us are going to go to Gomukh. Okay. Supposing everyone is going as an individual, you will pick up your one bag or your backpack and walk into the bus. Simple. One person, one bag, you take a backpack and walk into the bus. But supposing I say, all right, we are having a private bus, 30-seater in Rishikesh. Now I have to think of logistics. Why? There are 30 people with 30 bags. But how do I load up the 30 bags and where do I load it? Are you getting the idea? It becomes an issue of logistics. Simple. When you are a homemaker, you know this well. When you look after home as well. You are walking into a restaurant for a cup of coffee. Does it take any planning? You are taking the 5 people that make up your family for a cup of coffee. क्या होता है? Big discussion, which restaurant to go, is this thing to go, what dress to wear. Why? It should be the same, na? Can you see individual total differences that come in? Qualitative differences come in when numbers change. The engineers here will say, very important when we are doing structural engineering. The whole thing changes. Yeah?
I had a question, Swamiji.
Yeah, shoot.
So when you say total knowledge,
Yeah.
you imply the creation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All of these. That's what you imply.
With
right?
creation and what is there behind the creation also. As Satyam Jnana. Now that brings us to the second question. What is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman? There it is entirely different. That knowledge is the Atma Jnanam. That is same for Ishvara and you. Atma Jnanam is Atma Jnanam. There is a knowledge that there is only one consciousness. Whether you call him Ishvara or you call him this idiot who is sitting here, it is the same. One Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That's it. Including that guy I don't like, my neighbor, or the terrorists, whoever it is. It's all nothing but Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That's it. Finished. Including the president and prime minister you don't like. Or you like. Whatever. Like, there is no problem. Don't like is an issue. That's why I'm mentioning don't like. One Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Now you see the importance of not letting your likes and dislikes rule you. Yeah. How many of us will be happy to say, yeah, Modi is also Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, I am also Satyam, same. How many will be happy to say, Pappu is also Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, I am also same. How many of us will be happy to say, Mamata Banerjee is also Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, I am also the same. You can oppose them functionally, get rid of likes and dislikes, stop the likes and dislikes ruling your life. Whether you are pro or anti, likes and dislikes should not be ruling your life. That is the basis of Karma Yoga. Yeah, it's important. It's important to know that. I don't like the terrorists. But he is also nothing but Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. No? The Upadhi is a problem, not the consciousness there. Only the Upadhi is a problem. It's important that we don't get blinded by our likes and dislikes. Otherwise, Atma Jnana will not be there, Sarvatma Bhava will not be there. Yeah. Whatever your political affiliations are, whatever your personal likes and dislikes are, don't be ruled by it. How? That the lower the explanation of Karma Yoga, lifestyle, etc. is about that. Yeah, is about that. Not being ruled by Raga Dvesha. Whether that Raga Dvesha is purely personal or more socio-political, geographical. Yeah. You can work in all these areas, okay? Socio-political, economic, all those areas you can work in because that's life. That's about functioning. That's okay. That's fine. But don't let the Raga Dveshas rule you. You should learn from some of our women politicians. 3-4 of them from different parties were almost abusive in their debate. But then all of them were very friendly on a foreign visit. The sisterhood came in very strongly there. Yeah, something to be learned from. Something to be learned from. Why are you letting your likes and dislikes rule you? Yeah. So, when you talk about Satyam Jnanam Anantam, it's a different level. It's a level only of consciousness. Here, we are talking about that consciousness being manifest in individual awareness and Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti we saw. Sarvajnam, Sarveshwaratvam, all that. So, Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit, Ityadi Shrute.
Swamiji, I have one more question.
Shoot.
In the earlier verse, the 37th verse, where it says Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. What do they imply when they say Vishuddha?
Pure sattva, not contaminated by anything. Even though rajas and tamas is there, it does not contaminate the sattva. The problem is, we are also sattvic people. In fact, all the people present here would be predominantly sattvic. Otherwise, you all wouldn't be here. But the problem is, your rajas, likes and dislikes, etc., will contaminate your sattva. So, will contaminate your judgment. Your judgment is not purely based on facts and things like that. Your likes and dislikes will contaminate that. Your decision making will be influenced by tamas. Yeah. Hey, this has to be done. I know, it has to be done. आज संडे यार, कल देखेगा ना. Let's see tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Unless it is not important. You know, you have to go and get your SIM card. Yeah, there's a problem. Probably I'll have to replace the SIM card. But today is Sunday. It's 9:30 in the morning. Will they be open? ठीक है यार. If one day no one can get in touch with me, what does it matter? WhatsApp call they can make. Now my Wi-Fi is on. Can you see that decision making is influenced by your tamas? Saturday, Sunday they get more customers, they will be open. Go. If I go, will I be able to come back in time for the class? You can leave and walk away anytime you want. Can you see? All these things will come up. So my sattva is contaminated by rajas and tamas. I just gave 2 examples. There can be 100 more. In Ishvara's case, that is not true. He doesn't say, "Ye mein bhakta hai yaar, chalo." He is my bhakta. Thoda special. The character, he is an atheist. I will be neutral towards him. He is an agnostic. I will be neutral. That character, he says idols should be broken. Usko karma phala mat deo. Does it happen like that? Never. Karma phala will go to everyone. Ishvara. Sattva is not affected by anything. Yeah. All compassion.
Swamiji, we also say now that individual rajas and total rajas. So when it's complete rajas, then we say Vishuddha Sattva.
One second. It is not complete rajas, it is total rajas. Total and complete is not the same. Trigunatmikam, Sattva, Rajas, Maya, all Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is all there in Maya. You are taking totality as though that is nothing but Rajas. No. All the Rajas that is there in the world put together plus some is Maya Shakti. It is purely Sattvic, uncontaminated by the Rajas that is there. Why? The Rajas is not manifesting as likes and dislikes as far as Ishvara is concerned. Rajas is manifesting as the whole capacity for action. The whole manifestation of creation. He thought the Rajas is so powerful that all he has to do is think. He thought and it was there.
Can I please ask you to repeat that?
Huh?
Can I please ask you to repeat that?
See, it is manifesting as the capacity to act, total Rajas. In you and me, it also manifests as Ragadveshas, likes and dislikes. What likes and dislikes is there in Ishvara? See, when you are worshipping, see, this confusion comes up because when you worship, you invoke him as Ganesha. Ganesha loves Modaka. That is, you are invoking him as a deity which is a finite thing. So, putting Ishvara into a finite mold, into a finite form, and then imposing all the qualities that a human being will have on Ganesha without the human issues. Ganesha is the biggest foodie available. All foodies will love Ganesha. In fact, there is a secret about Ganesha very few people know. I mean, it is there, but people have not looked at it this way. What is that? Anyone having digestion problems, invoke Ganesha. Vatapi Ganapati. I am not joking. Why am I saying that? Because Agastya was a great Ganesha Bhakta. Sage Agastya. I said this in my Ramayana thing. And there were these 2 Rakshasas. One of them had the boon that how many pieces he is cut up into, he will come back to life again. So the brother would cut him, cook him and feed him to the sages as Shraddha food. Now Shraddha food the sage can't refuse to eat. So he would eat. And then he say, are you satisfied? He'll say, yes, I am satisfied. He'll say, Vatapi, come out. And the guy will become whole again, the stomach, tear the stomach out, kill the rishi in the process and come out. They tried that trick with Agastya. And Agastya was a Ganesha Bhakta. So when he said, Vatapi, come out, Agastya burped. And he, with a laugh, said, he's already digested. There is no Vatapi left. That's why you will call Ganesha Vatapi Ganapati. There is a South Indian composition on Vatapi Ganapati. I don't know how many of you know that. I don't know it. Don't ask me to sing, please. That's the biggest mistake you'll ever make.
Hamsadhuni.
Huh?
Hamsadhuni.
Yeah. Hamsadhuni, yes. Yeah.
The only thing I know, nothing else.
Okay. There. So, because of this, we think Rajas in Ishvara is also like this. No. Ishvara, totality. And this is our personification so that we can have a bhakti relationship with our level of understanding. Bhakti relationship. Because we need that. To invoke that emotion out of us, we need, because totality, what emotion is coming out? Totality, perfect harmony. Then fine. Stick to the totality, don't stick to anything else. But you are perfect harmony with everything. Nahi hota hai. Then some other worship you need to get that emotion coming out. Because it's funny, Ishvara Bhakti is not easy. We think we have it, it's not easy. We have to keep invoking that a little bit. Even saints had moments, not moments, long periods, phases in their lives where their bhakti was shaken. There is a story about this which is told in the Christian church very often. The Roman Catholic Church is told very often. The priest goes to the Pope and says, Father, I can't do it anymore. I have lost my direction, I have lost my faith. And the Pope turns around to him and says, fake it. The Pope says, fake it. Why? Because when you fake it, the thing will come up. This is the only place where fake it will make it, okay? Not other places. Other places you have to be very careful. Yeah. In certain things like this, faking it will make it. And he says, I'm tired of faking it as well. Then invoke Ishvara in a different form where you can connect up. That's why we have 1,000,000 forms. Million forms. But because of that, we may think that Raga, Dvesha, etc. No. Ishvara, Rajas manifests only as Kriya Shakti. Not as Raga, Dveshas. That's why the problem is not there. Tamas does not manifest as laziness, indolence, ignorance, etc. It manifests as matter. His ability to manifest matter. Because without matter, where is the creation? It manifests as the property of inertia. Property of inertia is very important in matter. Otherwise, everything will be always in motion. Problem ho jayega. Rajas will manifest as pure energy. Those of us who have studied the Tibetan Chinese systems, Jing, Qi, Shen. Jing is matter, Qi is energy, Shen is all knowledge. There you are. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So that is why the totality is free from the problems of the individual. Otherwise problem ho jayega na. All of us hate a few things. Totality, Ishvara will be full of hate, full of jealousy, yeah, full of anger. There will be a problem. There will be a problem. There is no full of anger, but there is destructive power. That's also a manifestation of tamas. Raudra Rupam, Kalaha, time. Right? That's part of the game. Part of the game. What is created has to be resolved. Otherwise, fresh creation cannot take place. Therefore, you will put Ishvara as destroyer as well. Shiva is Rudra, na? Destroyer. What is the meaning of the word Shiva? Mangala Surupaha, Moksha Surupaha. Some champion said it is that which doesn't exist. He is confusing the definition of Maya for Shiva. But I can always forgive him. Why? Because self-declared uneducated Guru. So, abhi kya bolega phir? If you are a self-declared uneducated Guru, I can forgive him for that because uneducated. Kya karega? Uneducated with the Shastra, okay? Yeah. But there is a confusion of meaning. Shiva is Mangala Swarupa, but also destroyer. Is destroyer's role important or not? Very important. When you go to a doctor, what do you expect him to do? Destroy. When you are taking medication, what are you expecting to do? Destruction, na? All destruction of your illness is what? Destruction of the bacteria, etc., etc. Abhi Jains hearing this, be very careful. Why? Because also, my God, I am supposed to have ahimsa, I can't destroy, then you can't take medicines. If you take medicines, you are killing millions of bacteria at one stroke. But you can't say that. Section is part of the game. If creation is there, destruction has to be there. Therefore, that is how Ishvara, the Sattva Rajas Tamas manifests in Ishvara like that. Not through Raga Dvesha and things like that. Okay.
So, Swamiji,
Yeah.
What I really need to is to have that understanding and more of objectivity, because as I see what is happening is the gunas which are there in the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas,
Yeah.
and in a way taking it in the totality also, whereas in the totality, like it's not like that.
Yeah.
At all. So probably have more understanding on that, because what is my subjectivity and what are my gunas, I'm kind of taking it in the totality also, whereas totality is completely free from all of that.
Exactly. Totality is free from all of that, but we are projecting it on the totality. I need to work on my issues. My tamas and rajas I must work on. I need rajas.
Than those,
Yeah. I need to work only in taking care of subjectivity. Which subjectivity? Subjectivity, that is a problem. I like art in a particular manner, that's not a problem. I like a particular type of music, that's not a problem. I don't like music, that's not a problem. I like bindis and not Karela, that is not a problem. See, those type of subjectivities are not a problem. I should get rid of all subjectivities. No. That's why I'm saying you should not let it rule your lives, that's all. Don't let it rule your life.
Swamiji, would it be right to say for a wise person, the rajas and tamas is, not contaminating the sattva? Is that
To a great extent, yes. See, their humanness is there in the person. Humanness is there in the person. You can't forget that part of it. But yes, predominantly it will not contaminate the sattva. That's why you find the person very, very objective. Not only that, you go and discuss something with the person. Person doesn't offer you a solution. Nothing. But you come back with clearer. No? Why? The guy may not even be an expert in that field that you discuss with. People will come and discuss parenting. Okay, at least I brought up a pair of two pairs of nephews and nieces. So I have some idea about it. But with persons who have never brought up anything, they'll come and discuss parenting. The guy doesn't have a clue, but he's objective enough to give you, to objectively participate in that discussion and ask you the right questions to put you on the right track. And you come back saying, "Hi, I got my answers." Why? There is no subjectivity that much in that person. When I say, for myself, I like the sannyasa lifestyle more than the karma yoga lifestyle, isn't that a subjectivity? That people may not take a subject. Put it the other way around. If after knowledge and you being in this knowledge for years, someone says, I prefer the lifestyle of a householder rather than that of a monk, so instead of taking sannyasa, I am going to get married. Isn't that subjectivity coming in? That everyone will say yes. But is it a problem? Knowledge is there with the person. It's only a preference. Subjectivity has been reduced to a preference. Not this is the right thing. If you say this is the right thing, your subjectivity is influencing your decision. After getting wisdom, the right thing is to get married and settle down. Or after getting wisdom, the right thing is to take sannyasa. Then my subjectivity is influencing my sattva. Now the study is becoming more real for everyone. Good to see that. Yeah.
In a related context, therefore, if I operate within the framework of dharma, then the assumption is that I am not letting my rajas and tamas,
affect.
Make my sattva, right?
Yes. So if you go, because you are going by universal principles, not what you just like or dislike. So in the universal principles, there are possibilities of including my likes and dislikes. So that is okay.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
Swamiji, you use the word opposite of how to eliminate or reduce subjectivity. You use
Yeah.
another word.
So one way is living by dharma, other is living a life of karma yoga, therefore your subjectivity get reduced. Because of Ishvara Arpanam and Prasada Buddhi, you will grow out of your subjectivity in time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what happens in most cases. Yeah. Who's that? Is someone asking a question?
Yes, I.
Who's that?
Sunita Savla.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, in relation to Kavita's question, when she said that my cars are in the level.
Okay, we can say that, but just waiting for the connection to be reformed. Okay. Okay, I think the Wi-Fi is a bit of a problem today, so we will stop here. At an hour class could have gone for another 15-20 minutes, but we'll stop here and we will meet again next class. Om Tat Sat.